Look, listen.
I'm living in that.
Now, y'all see Caitlin Clark standing right there like, come on, keep on going. Keep on going. We seen Alyssa Thomas jawing at it with fans, kind of, making a complete fool of herself. And now she's finna be getting fined because she refused to speak to the media. Doing a good old Hulk Hogan, you dig? Doing a good old, we need to hear some more of that. Well, nobody crying about it. This caption said it's a fever or not soft. We embrace the smoke.
What happens when a WNBA star defies league rules, clashes with fans, and faces harsh criticism from her own teammates? Alyssa Thomas just found herself in the middle of a firestorm that could end in serious penalties and possibly suspension.
They just refuse to talk to the media, which is so freaking weird to me. So this was released today, and it stated Alyssa Thomas provoked last night that she's the lamest of lames. Now, I believe Angel Reese did this last year too. After this Indiana Fever game, she had refused to talk to the media for whatever reason. But it seemed like this is what they do in this league. Like when things don't go their way, all that is talking and then ducks the media presser. That's exactly what she did. Media availability rule broken last night by the Mercury. 2025 WNBA season media access policy state.
But there's more to this incident than meets the eye. Is her behavior a result of pressure, or is it something much deeper? The league's response might change everything. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video.
Alyssa Thomas and the Mercury will likely be fined because they chose to break the rule. Now, this came out last night. Well, I believe early this morning. No later than 10 minutes following the game, each head coach and two players, leading scorer and key contributor per team, will be available in the separate press conference rooms for in-person Zoom media about them breaking the rule. Now, this is interesting here, man, because you would think she had so much negative energy towards the fans that she would have wanted to answer these questions from the media.
Imagine this, a packed arena, post-game buzz in the air, and every reporter waiting for Alyssa Thomas to step in front of the microphones. But instead, silence. Thomas walked off the court and avoided the media altogether, breaking one of the WNBA's cornerstone rules about player accessibility. What might have seemed like a small gesture, a star choosing not to talk, quickly turned into an avalanche of backlash, leaving fans, journalists, and league officials stunned. For reporters, this wasn't just an inconvenience. It cut off a crucial opportunity to unpack the night's events, to get inside her mind after such an intense game.
Now, we know the Indiana Fever took on the Phoenix Mercury yesterday, and DeWanna Barner, first time coming back to Indianapolis after pretty much quitting the team. And I'm sticking to my guns saying that she quit the team because in my eyes, that's definitely what she did. Now, with all that being said, they made a big deal about her getting booed. Now, Sophie Cunningham was getting booed the whole time she was in New York. Ain't nobody say nothing about Sophie getting booed. Caught on camera actually encouraging the boos. Take a look at this. She went on record and stated that the role that she had possibly wasn't good enough for her. The fit just wasn't working. But at the end of the day, all of it points to the arrows of what? Quitting the basketball team. There's no way to justify it. She quit. Now,
and for fans? Well, they were left hanging, searching for answers to connect the dots. This wasn't Thomas holding her tongue to keep the peace. Instead, her silence felt loud. Social media lit up with accusations of arrogance and disrespect. To understand why this became such a big deal, it's important to know how the WNBA sees media access. It's not just a routine obligation, it's a bridge between players, teams, and the audience. By skipping out, Thomas wasn't just breaking a rule, She was breaking a connection that fans cherish, a moment where her insights, raw or rehearsed, could have added depth to the game.
She just retweeted this moments ago. Let's all listen to this.
And it literally like pisses me off when people are like, she's not the face of the league.
Who would be?
What?
Sabrina? No.
Yeah, bro, I gotta agree with Sophie Cunningham here. Kayla Clark been the face, still is the face, and at least she's woman enough to admit it.
No, there's really good, well-known people in our league. I'm not discrediting them. Like, we have a lot of badasses in our league.
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah to that. I'm all for that. But when people try to argue that she's not the face of our league, or if our league would be where we're at without her, you're dumb as shit.
But that wasn't all. If walking away from the post-game mic raised eyebrows, what she did next threw fuel on the fire. Heading toward the locker room, Thomas directly engaged with booing fans, and not in the "let's win them over" kind of way. She clapped back, literally and figuratively, with gestures and words that only escalated the tension. Imagine the scene. Crowds already heated, and instead of cooling things down, she amplified the hostility. Her teammates, Sophie Cunningham and Kalia Copper, were quick to call her out, saying these actions disrespected her role and even her teammate, Dana Bonner. This sparks a bigger question. Is this about one decision, or does it reveal cracks in her leadership style? Right now, Phoenix and the entire WNBA are left scrambling to clean up the fallout. But what happened next? Well, it only gets worse. You know what's crazier? The drama didn't end with Alyssa Thomas walking off the court. It carried right into the game in one of the most heated moments fans have seen this season. During a scramble for a rebound, Thomas got tangled up with Angel Reese, and let's just say, things went from competitive to flat-out ugly in seconds. Instead of disengaging like most pros would, Thomas shoved Reese in what can only be described as a move that turned heads for all the wrong reasons. Some fans are calling it a bullying tactic, and for good reason. It wasn't just overly physical. It felt intentional, the kind of moment that makes you wonder if the frustration off the court had finally boiled over onto it. For those in the stands, it was hard to miss. The crowd's gasp when it happened told you how bad it looked, and the replays didn't make it any better. Reese, caught completely off guard, stumbled as Thomas seemed unbothered by the fallout. Players get physical in games all the time, right? Sure.
Average 700,000 views, peaked at 1.1 million. That ain't really that much, but I guess in hindsight, speaking that it wasn't the Indiana Fever playing, on TV, they did close to 1 million, is kind of good. So Rebecca Lobo has been releasing this stuff all day. You say last night presentation of 2024 WNBA Finals rematch, the Liberty and the Lynx was the third most watched non-Indiana Fever game this season. But the Fever still played yesterday. I feel like if they can do these numbers on a day that they don't play, then y'all would be good. You got to think the Fever still played a game last night. So, I don't know.
Basketball is fast-paced, emotions run high, and contact is inevitable. But this, it wasn't about fighting for position. It crossed the boundary into something personal and, frankly, unnecessary. Fans were divided on what it all meant. Some argued it was a split-second reaction, heat-of-the-moment stuff, but others pointed out that this wasn't the first time Thomas's temper came up in discussions about her play. These moments don't just disappear either. History has shown that the WNBA takes its professional image seriously. When other stars stepped out of line, think intentional fouls or aggressive outbursts, they were hit with heavy suspensions or fines, sending a clear message that accountability matters. But will that same rulebook apply to Thomas? That question is at the heart of all this controversy. And it's not just her wallet or her playing time at stake here, it's her reputation. How does a veteran leader recover from a moment like this? Right now, the league is drawing a hard line between emotion and aggression, and it seems Thomas may have found herself on the wrong side of that line. So what happens next? That fallout could redefine everything. The WNBA now faces a pivotal moment, and their response to Alyssa Thomas's actions could set a precedent for accountability in the league. Her behavior didn't just raise questions about her leadership, it shined a spotlight on how far the league is willing to go to protect its professional image. If they come down hard, it sends a message that no player is above the rules, but if they go easy, Could it weaken their credibility with fans? One thing's clear. Whatever happens next won't just define Alyssa Thomas's career, but might leave a lasting mark on the league itself.